Backward arm circles. Palms are going to face away from me. I'm going to go straight up by my ears again. Pinch my scaps on the way down in the back. Steady, smooth pace. Next two are going to be medium circles, medium pace. I'm still trying to squeeze my scaps in the back. So side angle, whenever I'm going forward, my palms are facing down. Whenever I go backwards, my palms are facing up. So medium circle, medium pace, squeezing my scaps as I hit the bottom. When I'm going backwards, I'm squeezing my scaps again as I hit the bottom, not quite at the bottom. Medium circle, medium pace. Now we're going small circles, fast pace. Arms are straight out once again. Palms are down when I'm going forward. Palms are back when I'm going backwards. Fast pace, small circles. Palm press chest activation is next. Put my hands into a praying motion. Elbows go up, and I'm going to push almost as hard as I can until I feel my chest and my shoulders flare up a little bit. 10-second holds. Relax. Shake it out and do it again.
All right, so we're going to get into a position like this with our top leg over at a 90-degree angle. We're going to rotate our spine and follow our hand with our eyes, slow and controlled, and back over. So we got the third world single arm clap. We're going to sit nice and low, keep our heels on the ground, chest up, follow our hand up nice and high. 10 each side.
Single arm elephant trunks using the Marv Ball 32 ounce here. You can use a 2.5-pound weight. You can use a 5-pound weight. So the idea here is that I'm going to be in a bad squat position. I'm going to have posture in my back. I'm going to let my arm dangle between my legs, bring it on up, bicep close to ear, and I'm going to do a 1-second hold at the top. So I'm down and I'm up. Those are your elephant trunks. Pot stirs are next on our list of things to do. So pot stirs. I'm going to put myself sideways, bend down, back in a postured position, clockwise, counterclockwise, small, a little bit bigger. It's really to comfort as we're trying to let our shoulder dangle and let the weight of the ball take our shoulder and stretch it out.
All right, so the sleeper stretch is next. Biggest focus here, we want to have our shoulder stacked under our other shoulder, right? We don't want to be leaned out over here like this. Keep our shoulder stacked, elbow straight out from our shoulder, creating a perfect 90-degree angle. You're going to go ahead and bend down. Now when you feel your shoulder in the back here start to come off the ground, it means you've gone too far. We're going to stop right there. Take a deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. Push just a little bit farther. Hold it for 10 seconds. Come back up.
We're moving on to bands now for our stretch routine. So we're doing the chest down shoulder stretch. So I'm going to hold my band out to the side of me. Bend myself down with good posture. I'm going to let that resistance of the band pull my shoulder back until I feel a stretch somewhere in my shoulder. If you don't feel a stretch when you're straight over top, you want to try to move it around a little bit so you get your desired stretch.
We're in the frog stretch. We're going to have our knees just a little out past our shoulders with our toes pointed away. And you're just going to sit back, sink as far as you can, come back up. 10 reps on the side view of the frog stretch. Sit back as far as you can and back up.
Now we're on to the standard band movements to get your shoulder loose before you start to get into a throwing program. So on this one, we're 90-degree external. The important part about this is that I'm staying at a 90-degree angle. My elbow stays attached to my body and my wrist stays stiff. If my wrist doesn't stay stiff, then I'm really just doing forearm movements more than I'm doing shoulder movements. I'm going to move slow on the way out, slow and controlled back on the way in. I do not want the band to snap me back into place. So once again, slow on the way out, slow on the way back in. Now we're turning it around to do internal rotation rather than external rotation. Same rules apply. I'm sitting at this 90-degree angle. My wrist is going to stay stiff. I'm pulling straight across my body, pulling straight back out. Once again, don't let the band throw your arm back. Control your movement, slow and steady. Now demonstrating the high 90-degree forward facing. So chest stays up, good posture. If you're having a problem with posture, put your hand behind your head. That'll keep your chin up, keep your shoulder in position. We want to make sure that we're 90 degrees from our elbow to our armpit down to our hip, as well as from our wrist to our elbow to our shoulder. All I'm going to do from right here is rotate the band straight down to where I'm straight out forward facing. Let that band come up, and we're going to try to keep controlling it again. From a side angle, my arm is never moving forward and it's never moving back. It's just rotating straight down and straight back up. Okay, on to 90-degree external now. So it's the same as my internal, where I'm staying at my 90-degree. I'm just starting at the bottom rather than starting at the top. When I go into my external rotation, I'm not going to try to arch my back, keeping posture. I'm going to take it up to that 90 or a little bit further than the 90, control the band back down, bring the band back up, and control the band right back down. That's my 90-degree external rotation. Now demonstrating the high 90-degree forward facing. So chest stays up, good posture. If you're having a problem with posture, put your hand behind your head. That'll keep your chin up, keep your shoulder in position. We want to make sure that we're 90 degrees from our elbow to our armpit down to our hip, as well as from our wrist to our elbow to our shoulder. All I'm going to do from right here is rotate the band straight down to where I'm straight out forward facing. Let that band come up, and we're going to try to keep controlling it again. From a side angle, my arm is never moving forward and it's never moving back. It's just rotating straight down and straight back up. Okay, so now we're on to our 3-stop fly routine. So my 3-stop fly routine, I'm going to have the bands out in front of me. I'm going to start at the bottom. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to keep my posture and keep my arms in line with my body as I make the 3 different movements. I'm going to count to a 1-second hold on each one of those. So I'm going down for 1, up for 1, close for 1, back for 1, down for 1, and that is 1 full rotation. Where the forward-facing 3-stop flies were for stabilization of my back, now I'm doing stabilization of my shoulders by doing forward-facing 3-stop flies. So in my forward-facing, I'm starting out. My hands are staying in line with my body. They're not sitting back, so I'm keeping them in line for everything I do. And I'm down for 1, up for 1, close for 1. Back to that T position, and then back down to the bottom. Shoulder stabilization, 3-stop flies facing forward. Now our last movement is going to be explosive back flies. We're trying to speed up our movements a little bit before we start throwing, since everything else was slow, control them for stabilization. These are back flies, or you can call them field goal back flies. So arm's going to start in front. I'm going to move them back into a field goal, it's good position, bring them back down. Now my pace is going to start to get a little bit more erratic because I'm trying to engage fast twitch muscles before I go to throw.
All right, so we got stationary ball throwers. What we're going to do here is we're going to keep our hips stationary. We're going to rotate, toss off the wall, catch, rotate to our other side, toss off the wall, catch. And now we're doing rock into separation. We're going to rock forward, throw the weight into separation, feeling our torso stretch. Front-facing view here of the rocker into separation drill. So we're going to rock forward, let that weight shift back, and turn our torso into a separation while keeping our weight stacked over our hips. So now we have rock into separation with the hip counter. So we're going to rock forward, and then as we rock back, we're going to throw our hip into separation as the ball gets passed, right? So we're here, forward, separate. All right, same as the previous drill. This time we're just going to add the throw in. So it's a rock forward, feel the separation, the counter rotation between the upper half and the lower half, and then into our throw. So we're forward, back, throw. All right, now we're working into the step back separation drill. So if you're a right-handed pitcher, your back leg is going to be up with the ball counter rotated. We're going to drop back, rotate, and throw. Now we have the lunge lock side throw. If you're a right-handed pitcher, your front leg is going to be up. You're going to put the ball on the opposite side. We're going to drop forward into rotation and then toss the ball into our land leg block.
For the knees med ball chest throw, we're just going to take that 8-pound medicine ball or lighter, keep it at our chest, rock back a hair, sit into our hips a little bit, and then explode forward and try to throw that ball as far as we can.
We have the PVC hip separation drill. What we're going to do is we're going to put the PVC pipe on top of our shoulders here. We're going to lift our front foot off the ground, and as we go into our stride, we're going to rotate our upper half as we sink down. And back up. The front-facing view of the PVC hip separation drill. So as we go down, the front foot off the ground, we're going to rotate our upper half as we sit into our back leg.
Now we're on the one knee deceleration drill. So this is a partner drill, as are the next 3. If you have a partner, that partner's going to toss you the med ball. I want to sit with my land leg for a pitcher or fielder. That's going to be out in front of me like I normally would when I land. My back knee is tucked up behind me. straight in line with my hip. My hands are going to stay right out in front of me, but they're not going to reach for the ball. I'm going to allow that ball to travel to me, and I'm going to try to resist its force with my core right here. Core stabilization right there will help you slow down as you rotate into your throw. The 1 foot decel drill, that's going to come up next in our med ball series. I'm going to stand on either foot. It's not going to matter. I'm going to do it to each side. I'm just going to try to balance on that foot while my partner tosses me the ball. And I'm going to try to make the resistance, once again, in my core against the force of that ball coming against me. So now we're on a V-sit deceleration drill. So I'm trying to stabilize this med ball with my partner who's going to toss it to me in a balanced position. He's going to move around me like the numbers on a clock at 12 different spots, both clockwise and counterclockwise. So I'm going to sit into my V. My partner's going to toss it. I'm going to toss it back. Now we're at 11. Now we're moving to 12. Now we're at 1. And now we're at 2. Your partner's going to work all the way around, clockwise and counterclockwise.
Here we have the shoulder activation drop catch series with the Marv ball. So what we're going to go ahead and start with, we're going to have our hand straight out from our shoulder. We're going to drop, catch, bring it back up. Drop, catch, bring it back up. 10 there. Okay, and then we're going to move out to our lateral side here. Drop, catch, bring it back up. 10 there as well. Then we're going to go ahead and move our arm into a 90-degree angle. Here, we're going to keep that rotation in this plane. We're going to drop, catch, toss the ball up, catch it, back into position, drop, catch, toss the ball up, back into position. Then we're going to go ahead and lay onto the ground really quick. You're going to get on your non-dominant side. We're going to keep that elbow tucked in, straight out, drop, catch, back up, and then we're going to go extended, drop, catch, back up. Commence.
We're on to phase 1 right here of our velocity program using Marv balls on the heavy ball drill. So the first thing I'm going to do is a simple back toss and a front toss. My arm's going to stay in that 90-degree angle that we would want to do on our bands. I'm going to toss the ball off the wall and catch it. Toss, catch. We're not trying to do this super hard, trying to get our shoulder activated, warmed up, ready to go. Then we're just going to go forward, switch it around, 90-degree angle, toss, catch, toss, catch. Important part here is that I stay at that 90 and I never drop below. Ready? Okay, now we're on to the bent cross throws, which is the second part of phase number 1. So in the bent cross throws, the idea here is that we are training acceleration from our 90-degree point after we get through our layback forward only. So this is not a drop back throw. It's not a max throw where I'm letting my arm get into layback. I'm just trying to accelerate with my pec minor from right here forward through extension. So I'm going to bend down. I'm going to be in a poor squat position, but I'm going to have good posture with my back. I'm going to cross my arms, bring them up to a 90-degree angle. Notice the posture in my lower back and how my head is straight forward. And from right here, I'm going to accelerate forward through my throw. I'm going to keep my glove and my elbow of my non-throwing hand out in front of me, and I'm going to finish down through my throw. So in full motion on a side view, I'm going cross, freeze, throw. From a front-facing view, I'm going to make sure that I get up into that 90-degree position. I'm going to go cross, up, throw, finish down through my throw, once again with my nose and my head forward, my glove, and my elbow out in front. Notice I'm holding another ball in my other hand just to mimic something out in front so that I can feel if I pull that front side off or not. Overhand slam is what's coming up next on our list. So once again, using our Marv balls. So I'm going to take the 16-ounce ball on this one. Legs are going to be a little bit bent. They're not going to be completely straight on this one. I'm starting out in front of me just as I would when I pitch. As I rotate in, I'm going to rotate on this foot. My foot's going to turn. I'm going to bring that ball to my head, kind of in a shot put position right here. As I accelerate forward, I'm going to come through the ground, pronate off, finish down into as much deceleration as I can in between my legs. When I move, when I take my first initial movement, I want to get into a separation like I normally would pitching or in the PVC drill that we showed earlier. So I'm going to start out in front, turn, get my hip shoulder separation. Once again, important part, that ball sticks to your head right here. As I rotate, the ball comes off of my head. The ball doesn't fly away from my head. So I want to try to keep it as tight to my body as I can. So one time in full motion with full deceleration, I'm going to turn in, accelerate down through me. You'll know if you did it wrong if that ball doesn't finish in front of you and if it finishes out in front. If it finishes out in front, that means that your arm got away from your head, you got into a little bit of forearm fly out, and now that ball finishes out in front instead of finishing straight down. Moving on to underhand toss here, it goes with the overhead slam. So you're going to do underhand toss, overhead slam, alternate back and forth. So underhand toss is exactly what you think it is. It's a softball toss underhand. What I'm trying to do with my 32-ounce marble is I'm trying to keep my bicep as close to my ear as I can, completely straight arm, and toss that thing in the wall. I'm going to try to do this kind of fast since we're overhand throwing athletes all of the time. We also have to get that under a little bit. So that ball's going to be, the wall's going to be kind of close to me right here. Ball's going to be down by my side to start. One time through, toss it off, catch it. One time through, toss it off, catch it. That's my underhand toss. The last movement in phase one right here, and we'll revisit it again in phase number 3, is the Marshall throw. So in the Marshall throw, I'm going to take my non-landing leg. So for right-handed pitchers, that's going to be my right leg. It's going to sit out in front. Toe's going to be facing directly into the wall. I'm going to make a 90-degree angle with my legs. So I'm going to drop back my typical landing foot or my left side foot. Ball's going to stay in front of me. I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to pivot on my toe here. So I'm going to rotate in. I'm going to get into the same throwing position that I was on the overhead slam with the ball close to my head. Get into a separation just like the overhead slam as well. So I'm going to turn in. Ball's close to my head. As I pivot out to throw from my separation to my extension, that ball's going to come off of my head. I'm going to pronate inside of that ball, and I'm going to get the longest track of deceleration I can, but also pivoting on that front toe as well. So as I throw into the wall right here, from a side-facing angle, my front foot or my right foot's in front of me pointing at the wall, left foot sitting at that 90-degree angle. I'm going to pivot and turn in. As I throw into that wall, I'm going to pronate off and take that long, good track of deceleration.